If you like card games and cute frogs and don't mind a little bit of Take That, then you might want to check out Snatch It from CGE. Let's take a look at how this plays. In this game, players will be playing cards on top of each other to snatch up the little critters and get points off of those cards. So in order to do so, players will have to always play orange to orange cards, purple to purple, and blues can go on either color but cannot go on other blue cards. They must also always be the same number or one number higher in order to snatch those cards. So if this player was going first and they had a 3 in their hand, they could snatch this other 3 out of the pond and then put it in front of them, and then they don't have to reveal how many cards are in their stack or anything like that, but they do sit out in front of them. Then if this player was going to go, they have a purple 5, so they could snatch that 5 out of the pond and again put it in front of them. Then if this player was going to go, they have a 4 orange, so they could take one of these 4 oranges that are in the pond, or they could also snatch a pile from in front of their opponent and put that in front of them. And players will keep going around the table until the pond runs out of cards for the round, or all players don't have any more cards in their hand, and at that point, they'll be able to refill their hands and keep going. The only way to protect your cards is if players are able to use a stack that they already have in front of them, following the same protocol to take a card out of the pond. They would be able to basically eat up that stack and put it in front of them, so swallow it, and then it is protected from any other steals or anything of that nature. Once players refill their hand at the end of the round and are heading into the next round, they'll also go into what's called the stork phase, where they'll each throw a card into the mix, and those will get shuffled together with one being picked randomly. And so let's say that this purple card got picked, then the storks are going to eat one purple stack from each player if they have any in front of them. So this player who still had a purple stack in front of them would lose that stack. If you only have orange in front of you or just don't have any stacks in front of you that aren't already swallowed, then you don't lose anything. The game will end when the card that's in the middle of the deck here is reached, and then there will be no other stork phases, and players will just add up all of their points. All of the normal creatures are worth 1 point, and if players are lucky enough to have any swarm cards, those are worth 5 points each, and the player with the most points wins. I thought this game was pretty neat. I'm not usually that interested in any games that have any kind of Take That because I just feel like it can be really mean, but I thought this worked really well. It felt like it had a nice balance of like, yeah, I'm going to steal a stack from in front of you, but my stack still might be vulnerable, so somebody else could steal it from me, or you could steal it back on a future turn, depending on what cards you have. So I thought that that was really interesting. There's also the ability to just immediately like reclaim a stack if someone's trying to steal it, and basically just say like, no, you can't do that, as long as you, again, have the right number. So I thought that that worked pretty well. And then there's also always the devour phase, where the storks are coming out and might take some of the stacks that are in front of you, so even if something gets stolen, that player might just kind of get unlucky and that stack might get discarded anyway and they didn't get those points. So I thought that it just had a really nice give and take in that aspect. Other than that, I did think it was just a pretty light card game. It wasn't anything that was insanely unique or that I would play all of the time, but I did think it was a pretty nice choice for like a filler game, or just like a light game to play with family, or something, because it is pretty portable, that works really well if you're like waiting in line at a convention or something like that, because you don't need a lot of space and you can just kind of play the cards on the floor in front of you while you're waiting. So I think it works really well and it's a lot of fun. So you can check out my full thoughts on the blog today to see if this one's for you.